Okay, I'm going to make a video real quick just to kind of show what can happen if you do not tighten this crankshaft pulley or harmonic balancer tight enough, or if you over tighten it. So does not have the timing chain cover on it right now, so you can see what this is looking like. So this is the bottom gear for the timing chain. So the timing chain wraps around that. It goes all the way up to here, wraps around your camshaft, which is not on the head right, or not on the block right now. So what will happen is if this this harmonic balancer here or crankshaft pulley starts to, if this bolt loosens up, which I've had now happen a couple times, this pulley will slide around on here. It'll slide back on this keyway here. There's a key in here, and this sprocket will start to drift a little bit inside of here. And once this thing starts to drift, it will start to throw your timing off, and you'll start to get camshaft position sensor errors. And normally those sensors aren't going to go bad. So if you start getting weird timing or the variable valve timing errors, usually it's due to this thing rocking back and forth. And once this thing starts to slide, the tension on it can actually snap that keyway off. I've seen it now. I'm doing one right now where the timing chain gear actually snapped on it, and I've seen a couple of them where these things come loose. So sometimes people, so 80 pounds is the 80 foot-pounds is the torque spec on here. And so with this, it's really hard to actually put a torque wrench on here, because once you start to torque it, the whole entire thing wants to turn, and my flashlight wants to fall. So what you have to do is you either have to get a fan clutch wrench on here and hold this, or pin it down with this. There's a screw hole in here, you can actually kind of hold it, but it has to be 80 pounds. The other thing that you want to do is put red thread locker on this thing so that there's no chance of it coming out. You can also use a torque stick set to 80 pound, or an 80 pound torque stick, a lug nut torque stick to actually set that. You don't have to use a fan clutch. But the most important thing is that this thing you do not want this bolt starting to even come a little bit loose. Once it starts to loosen, then this thing starts to slide around on here, and then you really run into problems. And so red thread locker is going to be a must for me now, because now I've had 3 of these start to back out. And the other problem is that if you hit this with an impact and you hit it too hard, you are slamming that impact right into this gear right here. You're slamming it right into that gear. And so all that impact and all that force can actually crack that sprocket. So, and I'm not sure if that's what happened on this last one, if it actually had a micro crack in it from hitting it too hard, but there's nowhere else for that force to go but into there. And then I'm going to show you what happened to that other one in just a second here. All right, so here's the motor that is bad. This has got the timing cover on it, so it looks a little different, but as you can see, this giant gap in here, there's a bust. You can just see the whole entire gear is just snapped off in here. And what happened is the timing chain jumped, and it skipped the timing chain on the gears on the camshaft, and now it's bent all the valves. This whole thing it's not even worth saving this thing anymore, because I don't know if it's done anything to the camshaft. And the keyway that goes in here, the Woodruff key or whatever they call them, is completely gone. It actually sheared right off. And then you can see it kind of, that's the notch that it sits in. It just kind of mangled this is heavy stainless steel, so it just does a lot of damage. Obviously it's spinning at a high RPM. For this motor lasted for about 1.5 years after the head gasket, and then it failed, and it cracked that. So not worth saving. This one's got 300,000 miles on it, so I'm just going to put a new motor in it. But anyway, that's just a heads up or an FYI, because too much impact on that bolt can actually crack the sprocket, and not enough with some thread locker, it'll cause it to slide out, and then it'll eventually do the same thing. So uh, this one needs a little bit more attention. This part of the job, when you do it, it's very important to do it the right way. And I have not had any issues with them blowing up motors like this before. Here's part of that Woodruff key right there. That's another busted part of it right there. So just an FYI, I guess. Thanks for watching.